up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats? It is Luce, and today I am going to see Evita at Regent's Park Open Air Theatre. So basically I just need to get ready, put a little bit of makeup on my face. I wanted to talk to you about Matthew because I haven't done a video about drama school in quite a while. So basically I'm just going to be doing like a little chatty get ready with me video so we can talk about my experience with first year. And yeah, so I'ma just be getting ready. By the time you're watching this, I will literally be at Mount View on the first day of second year, which is crazy. Literally first year went so fast for me. I cannot quite believe that I'm already in second year. When you start Mount View, you get given what we call an auntie or an uncle, which is basically just someone in the year above on the same course as you. So it just means that before you start, you can ask them loads of questions that you may have about starting, about student accommodation, about student life, which I find really lovely because it means that you have a familiar face before you start. And for someone like me who was completely clueless about what to bring, all of that stuff, it helped so much. So I've just been talking to my niece, who is so lovely. I cannot wait for second year. It's going to be so good. Hopefully, if all goes well, you should be added to a group chat of your course, which I also found really lovely because it meant that we could all like talk and discuss what it was going to be like before we started. So yeah, first year in summary was, I literally don't even know where to start. It was such an incredible experience. Basically, the boarding school that I went to was kind of like a performing arts specialized boarding school, so they gave me loads of training for auditions. Having had training and having spoken to all my teachers, I was kind of in the mindset of like, I know what drama school is going to be like. It's not going to be easy, but at least I'll probably have a heads up over people who literally have no idea. So I kind of went in with that perspective, and if you're kind of thinking similar things, or basically if you just, I've literally caked myself in concealer, if you have any preconceptions about Mount View or about drama school or about your course, training, whatever, before you go, I honestly would encourage you literally just to drop them, because it absolutely won't be what you think it is. It will exceed your expectations and it will be nothing like you expected. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about first year, is everybody is just trying to work out how to do it. So basically just be really open-minded about the whole process and about all the training, and try not to think about what you already know, and like go into every lesson with like a fresh mind. And if you just throw yourself into every single lesson without in your head having a commentary going, oh, I think this is about trust, or I think this is about this. Teachers love it if you are the first person to go up and if you're the first person to volunteer for things, because it kind of shows that you have no inhibitions and you're just willing to throw yourself into the course and into the work, because that is really what they're looking for. And also they create a really safe space in studios and working classes. If you get it wrong, no one gives a shit, because most of you are going to get it wrong anyway. That sounds really cryptic, but like a lot of the exercises that you're asked to do, you don't really know what's going to happen or what you have to do, but you've just got to throw yourself into it. For the structure of first year, we basically at Mount View had 6 weeks of skills lessons, which is where you have acting, dance, singing, all your music instrument lessons if you're on the acting muso course, speech, voice, and then we have a week's half term, and then we have 6 weeks of project where you put all of your skills that you learn in the last 6 weeks into practice by doing a performance or a show with a director. In skills lessons, basically I can guarantee that most of the assessments that you will be doing will end up in week 5 and 6, so that is always the busiest, stressful time for everyone before half term. From the first couple of weeks, you kind of know what you're going to be asked to do in week 6. And what I did, which was really bad and I shouldn't have done, and I'm not going to do this year, is I left everything until week 5, and then I kind of shat myself and I was like, oh my god, wait, assessments are next week, I've done nothing. And it's so easy to do that because you can get away with it, but if you kind of know what you're being expected to do in week 6, I would urge you to do all the work in weeks 1, 2 and 3, because it's when you've got loads more time, you're not getting that much work given in lessons. Trust me, it is so much better if you do your work early on and not leave it until you absolutely have to. Now I know a lot of you will be asking whether it was hard. The kind of standard stereotype of drama school is that it is insanely hard. Everybody's seen the typical TV programs when everyone's really bitchy. First of all, the thing that I found from Mount View when I first went, honestly, everybody was so friendly. It literally just felt like one huge family, you know, especially having an auntie in the second year, Abby, who is literally the sweetest, most amazing person ever. I also had a personal tutor that I could go and talk to if I was ever struggling. Your course, just everyone is just so supportive, which is just what I loved about first year, is just like having that atmosphere of just like support from everyone around you. Like all the teachers, if you pass in the hallway, it's just so nice. If you are finding it hard, there are so many people that you can talk to. You just have to put your hand up and say, look, I'm finding it hard this week. But anyway, going back to whether it's hard or not, of course it is going to be a huge adjustment to your daily life, living away from home, possibly for the first time for a few of you. Obviously I went to boarding school, so it wasn't the first time I lived alone, but obviously moving away from home is a really hard thing, and especially when you are managing your own money, you have to cook for yourself, you have to do all your food shopping, washing, literally you name it. It is literally adulthood. It's changed now at Mount View. We're now 9 till 5, but for my first year the hours were 9 till 6, which is long, and especially if you're trying to work to earn money to fund the course or fund living, but you're all in it together, I would just message someone being like, oh my god, I'm so stressed, I have so much work, and they would be like, oh my god, me too. You're all in it together, which is so nice. No one thinks you're silly if you're like struggling with the work. The buzz you get out of like performing and doing your projects, and when you get good feedback from your teachers, it is so worth it. And also I still think it's so cool to just be able to do your dream training literally every single day, and sometimes it's easy to forget that, in the sense that like you're so caught up in your lessons and your work and stuff that you kind of forget that this is what you love doing. And I've just been talking whilst I've done my eyebrows, which I never really do, and I don't know whether they've gone wrong or not. They might have. Do you know what? I think it'll be fine. I don't even care. So maybe you will have heard this a lot, but I always say what you put into your training you get out. There is this thing that goes around that says, to an extent, it doesn't matter what school you choose to go to, whether it is a smaller school or whether you're at like Arts Ed, Mount View, GSA. So if you're at Mount View and you are putting in no effort, no work, no commitment, no passion, you will not get anything out of it, because you're not helping yourself. You're basically just wasting your training. Whereas if you were to go to a smaller school with maybe less facilities and less industry staff, but you put your everything into every single lesson, and you stayed after hours and you like practice and you gave everything to your training, you would get so much more out of it. Now some of you may think that this is weird, but actually I would say before you start your training, I would really suggest going to see a show before you start. Our voice tutor said this to our class, literally I think it was in the second week. She was like, go and see a show because you won't ever be able to watch it the same way again. And I was a bit like, okay, sure. And literally it's so true. Once you know all of the different tricks about speech, about truthfulness, about acting, it's kind of mind-blowing, because you're constantly just like analysing the actors, because you know a lot about what they're doing. I did see a lot of questions about like asking how you make friends and what it's like settling down. I don't want to actually spoil too much about the actual course content, which is why I'm only speaking about the basics. When you get there, you should kind of know of most of the people on your course. You know, you'll know their name, you'll know loosely what they look like. You've also been talking to your Mount View auntie or uncle, so you kind of know some of the year above, which is also really nice. But also just like everyone is so lovely that if you were ever struggling on the first day or something, you could literally just go up to someone and they would be so happy to talk to you and just like chill with you. Also what's great is you have freshers. Mount View do a whole week of freshers, which means that you can meet loads of new people in every single year. There's this one afternoon, I think, or maybe it's a whole day, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's like the Mount View scavenger hunt, but it's basically when they put you in teams of literally every single course, like MTs, actor musos, actors, TPA, so they're theatre production art people, so all the backstage people. You just do a quiz. You have to go out and find things in Peckham, you have to go find things in Mount View, but you also have to do challenges. It's so much fun because it basically just throws you in with a completely whole random group of people. That was also a really good way of making friends. I'm kind of melting my ass off here because it is so hot. So now I've finished my makeup, but I'm just gonna sit and answer a few more questions that you guys have asked on my Instagram. Someone asked, how do you save the money for it? Okay, so I am under no illusion that Mount View is expensive to attend. Obviously living in London is so expensive. You can work alongside it. So on our Mount View group, there are loads of people who work at different pubs or places around the area, and they put on the page if there are any vacancies, if people are looking for staff, and it's really easy to just get a pub job or a little weekend job doing children's parties. What's great is that we're actors, so it means that we can do lots of different types of jobs. You can work in theatres. There are ways of funding yourself and working alongside Mount View. So I've been teaching music, but I also have been doing YouTube the entire year, and there have been weeks where it's been really hard and I've had so much work and I just haven't been able to get a video out, but at least I'm trying, and that is so what you guys can do. So obviously it is really difficult to fund the course, but Mount View are really great in getting you student funding. If you can't afford to come, they will try every single possible thing they can to try and get you here. So they have some awards which they can give, which have money off. They have Dada Dance and Drama Awards, which a lot of people are on. So if you just communicate with them and say that you're really struggling, then they will try and support you and help you with every way they can. Can you please explain freshers in detail? I think we have 4 events managers on the SU who basically organise the whole of freshers, sort out tickets, venues, themes, prices. Throughout the summer they release all the different themes for each day. It kind of depends how the events team do it every year, but this year you get to buy a wristband for the whole week, or you can buy tickets for just separate events. Everyone dresses up. It's so much fun. They have loads of competitions. They give out loads of awards at the end of the week, where it's like biggest pisshead of the week. It's just so much fun. It's a way to really get to know people. Is there anything you didn't expect? I went kind of thinking I'm quite secure in like who I am. I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm not good at. I'm quite good at being a leader, and so I kind of considered myself quite a brave person who was just like willing to just throw myself just into everything. But actually what I found is I so wasn't as brave as I thought, look, because you will do the most vulnerable things you've ever done in your entire life at drama school. It takes a lot in some situations to just go up and be the first person to do an activity. I think what I wasn't expecting is how much I wasn't willing to make myself look like a dick in front of my course mates. But at the beginning it's really terrifying because you don't really know them. Do you trust them? Are they going to make fun of you behind your back? Like, it's really difficult to like just break down those walls inside your head where you're just like, fuck it, I don't care, they're going to be looking like idiots as well. What's one thing you wish you could tell yourself at the start of the year? Do your work. For anyone who knows me in like a performing arts capacity, I am always the one that is at the theatre as early as possible and literally leaves as late as possible at the theatre. I put so much work and effort into everything I do. I try and leave like no stone unturned in terms of my performance and like perfecting myself in a show. But I think because of the fact that I came straight from school, I kind of wasn't really ready to work as hard as I could. I'd just done my A-levels, I was kind of still really tired, and even though it was such a whirlwind at the beginning and I was like, oh my god, this is everything I want to do, this is my dream, this is so fun, this is so cool. There are certain things you have to do throughout the year, like you have to keep a journal of every single lesson and all the feedback that you've received from your teachers, you have to make a note of it. I wasn't very good in like making sure I wrote that every single day, and as I said earlier, I left most of my work till week 5 and 6, so even though I got through and we got our grades first year and I did do really well, but I didn't work as hard as I know I could have done. As I said, what you put in, you get out of it. If you want to have a really successful, exciting first year, you've just got to put in the work. Go over all the stuff that you've learned in your own time. That's really important as well. Ways of saving money and tips on spending money. In terms of like meal prep and cooking, that can get really stressful when you haven't prepped. On the weekends, sitting down, making a plan of all the meals you're going to eat for lunch and dinner every week. Obviously you have to make your own lunch and take it into school with you. You can go out and buy lunch, but that's quite expensive. And then going to a really cheap shop like Lidl, Aldi or Asda, then you're sorted, you have all the food there. You can also meal prep on the weekends, so you can like roast loads of vegetables and freeze it, or freeze loads of meals that you've already cooked like at the weekend, and it just makes life so much easier. In terms of spending money, if you're going out at the weekends or if like freshers or whatever, pre-drink, because drinks are so expensive in London. First year was the best year of my entire life. I cannot tell you how much going to drama school has changed me as a person. I have grown into myself. I know so much more about myself that I just had no idea of before. I am so much more confident. I am just so happy. I cannot wait for second year. It's literally going to be amazing. You will love it. You've got to work hard, but you will make so many friends. You will have such an experience, and it is living your dream. Make sure you have a social life downtime too, but you can also work alongside your training. I would honestly recommend drama school if you are considering it. It is so much fun. I have had the best year ever. If you are a first year starting this year at Mount View, come say hi to me at Freshers. If you have any questions, DM me on Instagram. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will have a Mount View Freshers vlog out very soon. I will also be vlogging more weeks in the life and more audition advice tips. If you have any more videos you'd like me to do surrounding drama school and that sort of thing, then put them in the comments below because I will. Subscribe because it literally means everything to me, and I will see you next week. Bye! Bye!